Indian scientist Bhaskar is also known as Bhaskar I, as there was one more mathematician with the same name in the 12th century. Bhaskar I was born in Maharashtra. Bhaskar for the first time wrote numbers in the Hindu decimal system with a circle for 0. These numbers prior to Bhaskar were written not in figures but in words or allegories and were organized in verses. For instance, number 1 was given as moon since it exists only once. Number 2 was represented by wings or twins or eyes since they always occur in pairs. Number 5 was given by 5 senses. He gave a unique and remarkable rational approximation of the sine function in his commentary on Aryabhat's work Aryabhat Bhashya, which was written in 629's contemporary era. Aryabhat Bhashya is among the oldest known prose works in Sanskrit on mathematics and astronomy. He also wrote two astronomical works in the line of Aryabhat's school, the Mahabhaskarya and the Laghu Bhaskarya. His work, Mahabhaskarya, divides into 8 chapters about mathematical astronomy. In chapter 7, he gives a remarkable approximation formula of sine and relations between sine and cosine. Bhaskar's valuable contribution to the study of fractions is very well noted. Bhaskar's most important mathematical contribution is the representation of numbers in a positional system. On 7 June 1979, the Indian Space Research Organization launched Bhaskar I, honoring the mathematician. Bhaskar, also known as Bhaskaracharya and as Bhaskar II, was an Indian mathematician and astronomer. Bhaskar gives his date of birth and date of composition of his major work Siddhant Shiromani. Ras gun purna mahi sama shak nrip samay bhavat mamotpattihi ras gun varshen maya Siddhant Shiromani rachitah. This reveals that he was born in 1036 of the Shak era, that is 1114 contemporary era, and that he composed the Siddhant Shiromani when he was 36 years old. He also wrote another work called the Karan Kautuhal when he was 69 years old in 1183 contemporary era. He was son of a renowned mathematician and astrologer Maheshwar who taught him mathematics. Bhaskar is said to have been the head of an astronomical observatory at Ujjain, the leading mathematical center of medieval India. He lived in the Sahyadri region, now in Jalgaon district of Maharashtra. The Chandrika Devi Mandir near Chalisgaon in the Jalgaon district of Maharashtra has an inscription that gives details of Bhaskar's ancestry. This inscription, that dates from 1207 contemporary era, was made at the request of Changadev, the grandson of Bhaskaracharya. This inscription gives the lineage of Bhaskaracharya. He first discovered that any number divided by 0 is infinity, and also sum of any number and infinity is infinity. His main work is Siddhant Shiromani, which means crown of treatises. He writes in Siddhant Shiromani that he has studied 8 books of grammar, 6 texts of medicine, 6 books of logic, 5 books on mathematics, 4 Vedas, 5 books on Shastras and 2 Mimansas. Siddhant Shiromani is divided into 4 parts called, first is Leelavati. The first section, Leelavati, is named after his daughter and consists of 277 verses. It covers calculations, progressions, measurement, permutations and many other topics. The second part is known as Bijganit, that is algebra. His Bijganit means algebra was a work in 12 chapters and has 213 verses. He discusses 0, infinity, positive and negative numbers and indeterminate equations, including the now called Pell's equation. It was the first text to recognize that a positive number has 2 square roots, a positive and negative square root. In the third section, Grahaganit, while treating the motion of planets, he considered their instantaneous speeds. It consists of 451 verses. And the last part is known as Goladhyaya, which is the study of spheres. These 4 sections deal with arithmetic, algebra, mathematics of the planets and spheres respectively. He also wrote another treatise named Karan Kautuhal. Bhaskar's work on calculus predates Newton and Leibniz by over half a millennium. He is particularly known in the discovery of the principles of differential calculus and its application to astronomical problems and computations. The Siddhanta Shiromani demonstrates Bhaskar's knowledge of trigonometry, including the sine table and relationships between different trigonometric functions. He also developed spherical trigonometry along with other interesting trigonometrical results. Using an astronomical model developed by Brahmagupta in the 7th century, Bhaskar accurately defined many astronomical quantities, including the length of the sidereal year. A number of institutes and colleges in India are named after him, including Bhaskaracharya Pratishthan in Pune, Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences in Delhi, Bhaskaracharya Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformatics in Gandhinagar. On 20th November 1981, the Indian Space Research Organization launched the Bhaskar 2 satellite honoring this mathematician and astronomer. Brahmagupta was a highly accomplished ancient Indian mathematician and astronomer. He was born in 598 AD into an Orthodox Shaivite Hindu family. His father's name was Jishnugupt. He is believed to have lived and worked in Bhinmal in present-day Rajasthan in India for a few years. The city was a center of learning for mathematics and astronomy. Later, Brahmagupta moved to Ujjaini, Avanti, which was a major center for astronomy in central India. At the age of 30, he composed the theoretical treatise Brahmsphut Siddhant in 628 AD, for which he is best remembered. A good deal of it is astronomy, but it also contains key chapters on mathematics, including algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and algorithms. Brahmsphut Siddhant is one of the first mathematical books to provide concrete ideas on positive numbers, negative numbers and zero. The text also elaborated on the methods of solving linear and quadratic equations, rules for summing series and a method for computing square roots. It also contained the first clear description of the quadratic formula, or you can say the solution of the quadratic equation. Brahmagupta is credited to have given the most accurate of the early calculations of the length of the solar year. Through his book, he laid the foundations of the 2 major fields of Indian mathematics, Patganit, that is mathematics of procedures or algorithms, and Bijganit, that is mathematics of seeds or equations. In Brahmsphut Siddhant, Brahmagupta details operations on fractions. He explains how to find the cube and cube root of an integer and later gives rules facilitating the computation of squares and square roots. Brahmagupta then goes on to give the sum of the squares and cubes of the first and integers. In his seminal book, he provides a formula useful for generating Pythagorean triples. His contribution to geometry was especially significant. His formula for cyclic quadrilaterals, now known as Brahmagupta's formula, provides a way of calculating the area of any cyclic quadrilateral. Brahmagupta's most famous result in geometry is his formula for cyclic quadrilaterals. Given the length of the sides of any cyclic quadrilateral, Brahmagupta gave an approximate and an exact formula for the figure's area. In the verse 40, he gives value of pi. After giving the value of pi, he deals with the geometry of the plane figures and solids, such as finding volumes and surface areas. He finds the volume of rectangular prisms, pyramids and the frustum of a square pyramid. He further finds the average depth of a series of pits. In chapter 7 of his Brahmsphut Siddhant, entitled Lunar Crescent, Brahmagupta rebuts the idea that the moon is farther from the earth than the sun. He does this by explaining the illumination of the moon by the sun. At the age of 67, he composed his next well-known work, Khandakadhyay, which covered several topics on astronomy, including the longitudes of the planets, rotation, lunar and solar eclipses, risings and settings, the moon's crescent and conjunctions of the planets. Brahmagupta died in 668 AD. Maharishi Bodhayan. The Bodhayan Short Sutra or Bodhayan Short Sutram is a late Vedic text dealing with the rituals of the Taittiriya Shakha school of the Black Yajurveda. Bodhayan, the traditional author of the sutra, originally belonged to the Kanva school of the White Yajurveda. He shifted from this tradition to that of the Taittiriya school. Bodhayan is quoted many times in the text as speaking. The work thus is clearly the work of his students and his school, the Bodhayans. The text is important as it is one of the earliest short sutras. Nothing is known of him except that he was the author of one of the earliest Shulba Sutras. He would certainly have been a man of very considerable learning. Undoubtedly, he wrote the Shulba Sutra to provide rules for religious rites. The mathematics given in the Shulba Sutras is there to enable the accurate construction of altars needed for sacrifices. The Bodhayan Sutras consist of 6 texts. The Sulba Sutra in 3 adhyayas, the Dvaid Sutra in 4 prashnas, the Dharma Sutra in 4 prashnas, the Shraut Sutra probably in 19 prashnas, the Griha Sutra in 4 prashnas. Prashnas here means questions. And the Karmanta Sutra in 20 adhyayas. Adhyayas are chapters. The Bodhayan Shulba Sutra contains several early mathematical results. He has done research on circle, square, rectangle, and triangle. He discovered pi to some degree of precision. When constructing circular shapes, Bodhayan uses different approximations of pi. Bodhayan even tried to find a circle whose area is the same as that of a square, and he has said, draw half its diagonal about the center towards the east-west line, then describe a circle together with the third part of that which lies outside the square. Bodhayan discovered Pythagoras' theorem much before Pythagoras was born. A shloka from the Shulba Sutra is proof that he had the concept of Pythagoras' theorem in his mind even before the Pythagoras was born. Dirgha chatur shrashya akshanya rajuhu parshvamani tiryag mani chayat prathag bhute kurutast ubhyam karoti. It means a rope stretched along the length of the diagonal produces an area which the vertical and horizontal sides make together. He judged the square root of 2 to 5 decimal places of accuracy. The Sanskrit text gives in words what we would write in symbols like this, which is to 9 places and is correct to 5 decimal places. The error is of the order of 0.002 only. The Dharma Sutra of Bodhayan, like that of Apastambh, also forms a part of the larger Kalpa Sutra. Likewise, it is composed of prashnas, which literally means questions or books. The structure of this Dharma Sutra is not very clear because it came down in an incomplete manner. Moreover, the text has undergone alterations in the form of additions and explanations over a period of time. This Dharma Sutra is divided into 4 books. The first book is primarily devoted to the student and deals in topics related to studentship. It also refers to social classes, the role of the king, marriage, and suspension of Vedic recitation. Book 2 refers to penances, inheritance, women, householder, orders of life, ancestral offerings. Book 3 refers to holy householders, forest hermit, and penances. Book 4 primarily refers to the yogic practices and penances along with offences regarding marriage. It is clear from the writing that Bodhayan, as well as being a priest, must have been a skilled craftsman also. Varaha Mihir, also called Mihir or simply Varaha, was one of the most celebrated scientists, having made substantial contributions to virtually all branches of the arts and sciences. Encyclopedia Britannica notes Varahamihir of the Gupta age was a profound scholar of all the sciences and arts, from botany to astronomy and from military science to civil engineering. Varahamihir was born in 505 AD into a family of Brahmins settled at Kapit, a village near Ujjain. His father, Aditya Das, was a worshipper of the sun god, and it was he who taught Varahamihir astrology. On a visit to Kusumpur, modern Patliputra and Patna, young Varahamihir met the great astronomer and mathematician Aryabhat. The meeting inspired him so much that he decided to take up astrology and astronomy as a lifetime pursuit. At that time, Ujjain was the center of learning, where many schools of arts, science, and culture were flourishing in the Gupta reign. Varahamihir therefore shifted to this city where scholars from distant lands were gathering. In due course, his astrological skills came to the notice of King Yashodharman Vikramaditya of Malwa, who made him one of the 9 gems of his court. In the history of science, he was the first to claim that some force might be keeping bodies stuck to the round earth. The force is now called gravity. Like Aryabhat, before him, he declared that the earth was spherical. He proposed that the moon and planets are lustrous not because of their own light, but due to sunlight. He wrote 3 important books: Pancha Siddhantika, Brihat Samhita, and Brihat Jatak. Varahamihir's main work is the book Pancha Siddhantika, a treatise on the 5 astronomical canons, gives us information about older Indian texts which are now lost. It summarizes 5 earlier astronomical treatises, namely the Surya Siddhant, Romak Siddhant, Paulish Siddhant, Vashishta Siddhant, and Pitamaha Siddhant. It is acclaimed that Pancha Siddhantika of Varahamihir is one of the most important sources for the history of Hindu astronomy from before the time of Aryabhat. Pancha Siddhantika, dated 575 contemporary era, provides us with knowledge on ancient Indian writings which have now been disappeared. Surya Siddhant is a very important work of Varahamihir. In Surya Siddhant, a technique is being used to measure the beginning date of Kali Yuga. According to this, Kali Yuga began in 3102 BC, midnight February 1718. The places of Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu at the beginning of Kali Yuga are also stated in this Siddhanta. Under this work, Varahamihir has also explained the estimated diameters of the planets. The book gave the locations of several stars other than the lunar nakshatras, the constellations, and the calculation of solar eclipses. The book also had a significant coverage on kinds of time, the length of the year of gods and demons, day and night of God Brahma, the elapsed period since creation, how planets move eastwards, and sidereal revolution. Surya Siddhant mentioned the Mars diameter, which was calculated to be 3,772 miles. That was an error within 11% of the currently accepted diameter of 4,218 miles. Surya Siddhant mentioned the Mars diameter and circumference, and also carries calculation on and about solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, its color and portion of the moon as well. Apart from these, Varahamihir also predicted the presence of water on Mars. The book had a detailed description of planet Mars. He had said in his book that planet Mars has both water and iron present on its surface, which have now been revealed by NASA and ISRO. Though the original book of Surya Siddhant till date remains untraced, but somehow a few scholars had taken their notes for their own research work, the Surya Siddhant or Saur Siddhant was the most accurate and is the system most widely used today. The modern system differs, but in minor details, from Varahamihir's classical system. And the Pitamaya Siddhant appears to be the ancient Vedang Jyotish of Maharshi Lagat. According to Pitamaya Siddhant, one Tithi is skipped every 62 days. The longest Tinman in the year is 18 Muhurats and the smallest 12 Muhurats. The 5 treatises begin with Indian astronomy and proceed to a review of all other known astronomical knowledge and theories. Another significant contribution from Varahamihir is the exhaustively researched Brihad Samhita. Although the book is mostly about fortune telling, it covers a wide range of subjects other than divination. It covers subjects of human interest, including astronomy, planetary movements, eclipses, rainfall, clouds, architecture, crop growth, perfume production, marriage, domestic relations, gems, and rituals. The volume presents the criteria of evaluation of the gemstone found in the Garud Puran and elaborates on the sacred 9 pearls of the same text. It comprises 106 chapters and is known as the Great Compilation. Varahamihir in 550 AD has described a large number of comets in the Brihad Samhita. He wrote over 60 couplets about comets. He repeatedly emphasized the importance of astrology and wrote the Brihad Jatak, that is the great birth, and the Laghu Jatak, that is the short birth, 2 well-known works on the casting of horoscopes. Varahamihir's mathematical work included the discovery of the trigonometric formulas. He improved the accuracy of the sign tables of Aryabhat. He defined the algebraic properties of zero as well as of negative numbers. Furthermore, he was among the first mathematicians to discover a version of what is now known as the Pascal's triangle. He used it to calculate the binomial coefficients. He created the first 4x4 magic square. Hayasi examines Varahamihir's work on magic squares. In particular, he examines a pen-diagonal magic square of order 4 which occurs in Varahamihir's work. Varahamihir was the first to specify that the Ainamj or the shift of the equinox is 50.32 seconds. This value is very important for the modern day geostationary satellites. In physics, he conducted several experiments and found the reason for the scattering of rays. There's a legend which is also famous about Varahamihir. It is said that sage Varahamihir predicted King Vikramaditya's son's death. According to him, the king's son would die when he will be 18 years old. Despite several predictions, the son of the king was attacked by a wild boar. Thus, the king, to commemorate his accurate prediction and to praise him for his knowledge, conferred him with the title Varaha, which is the emblem of Magad kingdom. Since then, Sage Mihir was called Varahamihir. There is a very famous quotation which belongs to Varahamihir. He said, "There is no better boat than a horoscope to help a man cross over the sea of life." If you want to know more about ancient Indian scientists, please check the playlist Ancient Indian Scientists, wherein you can find videos on Aryabhat, Varahamihir, Maharshi Lagat, Charak, Sushrut, Bhaskar II, Nagarjun, Brahmagupta, Kannad, and other great scientists of ancient India. If you have liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.